You can't do new without risk, period. Goes to literally everything we talked about today. Going to 100 episodes, that's only 5% of podcasts doing that, Like that is a risk right there. You can't do new without risk.
Yeah, and that it really does apply to everything. I mean, you have to be willing to take a risk to move forward, even if we're talking about your relationship with your child. Like the idea of it's scary, right? It's all scary. If you're having issues, the idea of being able to have a real conversation with them can be scary. But let me tell you, the reward is always greater than the risk.
That was good.
Welcome to Her Unshakeable Confidence with dynamic mother-daughter duo Simone and Olivia Knego, where they discuss the secrets of transformation and how to build bold confidence and unwavering resilience. From intimate conversations with inspiring guests to sharing their personal journeys of triumph and challenge, Simone and Olivia create a supportive space where every woman is encouraged to rise above her fears and love the woman in the mirror. Tune into Her Unshakeable Confidence and join this special journey of connection and growth. It's like catching up with old friends who inspire you to be bravely and uniquely you.
So it finally happened. We made it to 100 episodes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the dog finally vomited on the carpet.
And the dog did vomit on the carpet. Well, twice this morning, but that happens all the time. It's not finally. Anyways, 100 episodes. So basically, most people that start a podcast, they don't make it through 3 episodes. So I think it's 5% of podcasts actually make it to 100 episodes.
That's pretty cool.
So
I didn't know that. Yeah.
It's a big deal. And I think it's been really fun.
It has been fun. It's been a good way for us to connect.
Yeah, 2 years we've been doing this. And I just think it keeps getting better and better. I mean, I guess obviously because we're learning how to talk better. I mean, sometimes not.
Okay, Debbie Downer.
I'm not Debbie Downer. I'm just, it's early in the morning on a Saturday and,
Tis what it is.
Yeah. But, okay, so what are your favorite parts of the past year?
2 years. Actually, has it only been 2 years? I feel like it's been like 2.5 because I think about it in like where I was living when all of this happened. And I was definitely spring semester of my junior year in my first apartment.
Okay, maybe it's...
And then because I did that full year there.
It's been 2.5.
Yeah, and now I do it out of Nashville.
Okay, so favorite parts?
Connecting with you, I think.
Yeah, connecting with me.
Is like staying up to date.
Connecting with me too. No, I think that, and we've had some really cool guests. So
yeah, and I've had cool connections that have lasted like a long time off of the show because of it.
Yeah, I think that's been really fun, is to meet people and continue with them afterwards.
I feel like I might not be a storyteller in the same way you are, but I'm a story collector. And I love hearing other people's journeys and their stories and just learning from other people.
Yeah, and there's been lots of really good stories. Do you have like a top one or a top moment? Because I feel like for you, a lot of times when we have a guest on, you have these aha moments. Okay, awkward silence.
I'm trying to think of a top. Well, you asked me 2 different questions. Right. My top story.
And it's early on a Saturday, so.
Was one from one of the earlier episodes where the guest we had on, her husband survived like a miracle heart attack and getting transported from Louisiana to Texas.
Yep.
And I thought to me, Stacey Harris, because of the power community there. That was like very impactful for me.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that episode. Listen to the Stacey Harris episode. She's all about connection.
Yeah, and I think that's a really cool brand to like have for yourself, especially having gone through something like that and just really emphasizing the importance of, building the community around you and leaning on people when you need to.
Yeah, it was amazing kind of seeing it in action. I mean, obviously I wasn't there at the time, but hearing kind of the community that she built. And, I think we all had this fear of reaching out if we need help because, well, we're human and that feels weird, right? If you need help, it means you're weak or you're afraid someone's going to say no. And I think it should be the opposite. I think when we need help, we absolutely should reach out to our community And that's exactly what she did. And she had the best response. Her husband needed surgery. It was a very risky surgery. He was at a very small hospital, I believe in Louisiana, had to be transferred to Texas. And that at first they wouldn't do it because it was...
Yeah, they refused to do it. Or they refused to get, like, no one's ambulance. Their ambulance wouldn't transport him, essentially.
And through her connections.
And literally just by posting on Facebook and being like, does anybody know someone that can help me with this? Hundreds of people reached out to her. Someone down in Louisiana, the CEO of a hospital's wife in Texas, reached out to her. And I think it was like a good reminder to me that you never know what someone's going through and when to offer support. And that's so important. But B, you never know how someone can help you. And there's no harm in asking. And then most of the times it turns out better than you could ever imagined.
Yeah. And never take anything for granted.
No, definitely not. Like, she is someone that lives every day like it could be her last. And I think that's really remarkable.
No. Yeah. So that was one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's been yours, you say?
Our episode with Jennifer Swan and Kennedy.
Oh, well, that's like, I love Kennedy. Kennedy and I regularly stay in touch. So she's so sweet. They're coming to Nashville sometime in the fall, and I can't wait to meet her in person finally.
Yeah. So that's another story where, so Kennedy, I forget how many machines she needs to keep her alive, but she's a teenager. She was diagnosed with a very rare disease when she was a baby, and her parents had to make a choice. Like, most children don't survive it. And so, but they chose to do all the things.
Chose to live life and not just survive, but thrive. I mean, she goes on Disney vacations all the time just to experience life. She's in show choir, she's in theater, she's in every single activity that she wants to be on campus. And I think that's so remarkable. And I think it's a good life lesson for me because there's so many things that I would hesitate to try because I wouldn't immediately think I'm good enough to do it. But Kennedy throws that whole idea out the window and does it because she wants to do it.
And she speaks through an eye gaze. So she understands everything. But the way she communicates is by the only thing she can really move is her eyes. And so the eyes, she uses her machine to spell things out, or she's got word groups so that she can communicate. And it was really...
And she's a crazy sense of humor. If you get to know her, she's so, so funny.
So it was really fun to have them on and really understand what thriving means and what living life means. Because I think, again, we live in our little bubble and we aren't willing to take risks sometimes.
Well,
and
I think they talked a lot about like the hate they get on social media, which is ridiculous. But I think for a lot of people, you would see a family like theirs on social media and be like, I could never do that. Yes, you can.
Yeah, I think you can do whatever you want to do. I mean, anything takes work, right?
Obviously.
And you have to want it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think they're a really remarkable family.
Yeah. And I think that, we take a lot of things for granted. I mean, 100%. And I think that's what these last couple of years have taught me is different perspectives and really, I've seen you grow so much as a person.
Oh, that's sweet. I think so too. I think that when I went from 19 to 22, essentially. Well, no, that's 4 years. That's 20 to 22? Does that make sense? Oh, 19. Yeah, 19. I can't do math.
We are not.
I'm in law school, not in med school. That's like a thing. Lawyers can't do math. I think that I would not have had this growth without the number of adult conversations that I've had. And not just like, talking to your parents' friends, like completely open and honest conversations of how they struggled through their 20s and 30s and 40s and whatever the age they are now to get to the point that they are now.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that deep. 53 is the new 35. Well, that's another thing, actually, on my tangent. I am, like, if you would ask me at 16, I was so scared of aging. I'm so excited to get out of my 20s. Life seems like it gets better when you hit 30.
I love my 30s. We are so random right now. Yeah, I love
No, but I'm meeting people of all different ages and perspectives that like you have this idea on social media that like life gets boring when you have kids or like life gets boring when you settle down. And it's like, okay, yeah, the real life experience of you guys, but seeing other people live that, no, like in a good way. Like you guys aren't boring. No, like you guys aren't. Are you kidding? You've restarted your career at 40. That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
You guys are the opposite of boring, but seeing other people, you know, older than me not be boring too. No offense to some of the boring people out there. You're probably not boring. It's just in your head. It's just been it's been fun. And I feel like actually I've gained a lot and I feel like I have more wisdom to share with my friends. Like after every episode, I text someone and I'm like, this really reminded me of you. Here's what they said about their situation.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
I love it. I honestly do love it. I've had actually the best compliment I had was a girl in my law class. She was like, you know, I was like, oh, like I record a podcast with my mom. She's like, okay, like I'll listen to it. And she said, it has been so nice to listen to your mother-daughter conversations. Like it's just been so refreshing to hear a good connection like that. And I was like, wow, someone my age is saying that to me. Like that's really cool. I love when people in the community come up to me and are like, we listen to it. But honestly, most of all, I just love talking to you because, you know, I moved away when I was 17 years old. And I would say maybe the first year I was really good at connection. But the more I got into school and the more I got into my friend groups, it's been really hard to like maintain the familial connection that I would like to have. And then moving to Nashville and starting law school, it got 10 times harder. And I think this is just a nice way. We sit down once a week and we can actually talk. And we don't normally, like we talk after the podcast too. Like we stay on afterwards and just chat about everything going on in life. And I don't think I would have that opportunity otherwise.
We should probably record that too.
Yeah, we should. It'd be funny behind the scenes one day you can hear all the shit I rant about. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. Maybe it shouldn't be published. Yeah, I agree. And I think that this is a really good example for moms and daughters about what your relationship could be. I mean, I think actually going back, so I love the episode with Jennifer and Kennedy, but I think of our own episode, like just the two of us, I think when we talked about why we have such a good relationship and that the idea of parenting without judgment.
Because I wish I could talk to so many moms and daughters and just like sit down and be like, this is why. Like, because when you're a kid, I would say, you know, that relationship, a lot of it's on the parents. But the older you get, the more it's on you as well. And just like, family is like, it's first of all, it's who you make it. I don't believe in like blood is thicker than water. Like, that's ridiculous. But also, it's so easy, in my opinion, to reconnect. And I know that cannot be same for everything, but like putting down, obviously some situations cannot be fixed, but like putting down your differences and being able to really talk about it and not just ignore the elephants in the room or just shove things to the side. And I think, yeah, the parenting without judgment is the most important thing. And because you've been doing it not with judgment a lot while you're home. She'll talk to me about something. I was like, you said that to the kid? And she was like, no, I just thought that in my head. I was like, okay, good. Don't say that. She's like,
okay. I mean, as a parent, you think things inside your head all the time. It's the problem is when they come out of your
head. Yeah, because I'm going to tell you, like, I see with my 17-year-old sister, she will hold on to every word you say.
Yeah.
So if you say something negative, if you say something mean, it's going to live with her. It's not going to be like with my other brother who just kind of rolls off his back. He doesn't listen. But especially with girls, we really are so, I don't want to say sensitive because that makes you sound weak, but like in tune with what other people think about us. And when it comes to a mother, you want someone that's going to support you even when you know you're being stupid, you know, even when you know you're being an absolute B word like I was the other night.
There you were.
Yeah, I was.
But even like yesterday with your brother, which again, it was on me. So 2 weeks ago, he blew out a tire. Again, it's an accident, right? So we bought a new tire and I wasn't there. And again, this is a learning lesson. I didn't tell him that he should buy the road hazard. Well,
which, fair enough. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, and actually, your dad was like, huh?
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about like writing a book with things that we should know. That would be in it.
Yeah. And so yesterday, guess what? Nailing the same tire.
Wait,
in a way they say they can't fix it.
they can fix it. That's another thing. Don't trust the first opinion at car shops. Make a friend that's good at cars that can recommend you. Because you're going to know someone eventually whose boyfriend or girlfriend is very into cars. For me, it would never be someone, yeah. But like in Nashville, like when I first got my car, they were like, you need to get this changed and this changed and this changed. I was freaking out because it was going to be so much money. And my boyfriend, love him to death. He knows how to do things. He doesn't know when they're wrong. And so one of my friends there, her boyfriend's super into cars. And I was like, could you just ask him? Like, and she was like, yeah, no, if all of these things are like over 100,000 miles plus, like, don't do it. So
Okay,
what was
going
I? Back to your story. That goes back to my story though, of trust your car people and find a good trusted car person.
Okay. So that had nothing to do with my story. So my story was that basically, I spent 2 hours on the phone trying to find a tire. Like we couldn't even find a tire. And we think he's going to get it repaired today, but we'll see. But wait. Okay. So the problem was I was getting really frustrated because I was on this webinar at the same time, which means I couldn't do the webinar. So I finally had to just sign off of the webinar, which, I was doing work. So it was a little frustrating. So then I spent literally 2 hours trying to find this tire. And so I was getting frustrated in front of him. Like I wasn't frustrated to him. I didn't say, oh my gosh, like, come on. Like, how did you not know this? But I think just the way I was behaving, which wasn't great. It made him feel really bad about himself that 2 tires in less than a month. And why didn't he know about the...
You know what? And I want to say something back to my original story with Stacey Harris, the power of reaching out to community. You didn't reach out. Our cousin here literally does cars for a living. First thing my dad says after 2 hours of her dealing with when he gets home is, oh, did you text him? No. Yeah. First thing he does, he's like, oh, I'm not there, but I would totally be able to fix that, but I'll send you my guy.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But yes, back to being reactive, your kids feed off of your energy.
Yeah.
100%. And I've known that since I was a little kid.
So even if I'm not saying it directly to them, but if I'm behaving.
Yeah.
In a way, I mean, I'm modeling. And so if that's what they see all the time,
yeah,
they're going to feel bad. And that's going to be like how they behave. You are interrupting me like 16 times.
Sorry, but I have like a really good example.
Okay, go.
It's like when kids fall down. If you go immediately, oh, they'll start crying. But if you go, you're okay, you're fine, they won't.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So I know, like, definitely I have to remind myself all the time the ways I need to step up better because I'm human and I get frustrated. But again, I think like back to the parenting piece is that it is that piece of not judging. Like, it's not his fault. How would he have known that?
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything. Right. So, I mean, it's also on me and accidents happen every day. And thankfully the tire didn't fully blow out. So that
thankfully he's okay too.
Yeah. So.
And he was in a safer part of town than he was the last time I actually paid out, which was like on the side of the highway.
And he now knows how to change a tire. So
which is great.
He changed his own tire this time.
Yeah. I think something like from a kid perspective on that is that we're feeling guilty about that situation regardless. Like you don't need to tell us how bad you feel about it because we already have that guilt in us.
You've said that to me before.
Yeah.
Actually.
But one of the things that's always helped me is that we have 5. There's 5 other ones of me.
5 of you. Jeez Louise.
I know that'd be ridiculous. Oh my God. Could you imagine if I have a twin?
Oh.
But one of the things my dad especially does is when I'm feeling guilty about these situations, he likes to pull stories from other kids and be like, see, we weren't even mad at Jacob when he did this crazy thing. And so for me with Ari, first of all, I've had a lot of bad car stories, like a lot of bad car stories. This summer alone, my car broke down twice to the point that I needed a new car battery. It was literally it was the hottest battery that the AAA guy said he'd ever seen. My tire popped. Within the law school parking garage, I've hit the pole only once. Pretty proud of myself. It's a bad hit of the pole.
Okay.
And when I was in high school, I was pulling out of the garage And this is like the worst story ever. Pulling out of the garage, I hit my brother's car behind me. I don't put the car in park. I put it back in drive. It rolls forward, hits the front of the garage. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so late to school. Pull out, completely tear my side mirror off on the side of the garage. And honestly,
she missed the one side. So basically she hit the back, the front, and the right
yeah.
side.
And honestly, like I was so upset with myself in the moment. My dad was still home. He was like, you're taking the day off. And honestly, like now we just laugh about it because it was kind of ridiculous that even happened.
Well, we kind of laughed about it.
No, he laughed about it too.
Well, we laughed until the mirror, we found out the mirror was $600.
So bad.
Oh my gosh, really?
But it's still like, it's replaceable.
Right.
And I was okay, except for
your relationship is not replaceable.
That is a really good bar, Mom.
Yeah.
That was a really good line. Yeah.
And so all of these little things that maybe you let build up as a parent, you got to realize that we did the same stupid shit when we were growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not the same, but like we made mistakes and we have to be able to make mistakes. But if you don't have the support of someone behind you when you make a mistake, you tend to continue making those mistakes because no one's there to say, how can I help?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, we were having a conversation, was it last night or 2 nights ago? And you were saying something and I was trying to respond. And your dad said to me, she doesn't need you to chime in. She just needs you to.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was really good because I tell myself that all the time. Like, and I should ask the question, do you want me to listen or do you want me to give advice? Right. And that night she just wanted me to listen. And I was like completely oblivious to the situation. And your dad was like, just listen.
Yeah.
Stop trying to Simone it.
Yeah, because some things like we need to learn how to fix our own things.
Oh, for sure.
But like we'll ask for help when we need to.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. Like this morning, your brother's going to go to the other car place and figure it out. And
yeah,
you know, it's not like he's not capable of doing things. It's just in the moment he was like, I don't know what to do.
This is our first time on earth, but it's also your first time on earth. And I think that's something this podcast has taught me is that
I'm still learning every day.
Yeah. And I think when you're a kid, you don't realize that.
Yeah, you think your parents have it all together, especially when you're really little. You think the parents have it all together, and then things fall apart, and then you're like, "Well, okay, what's the real story here?" So I think from the beginning, if I tell you that things are always going to fall apart, that will be helpful.
They're not always going to fall apart.
No, not at all. I mean, but again, so I mean, for me, this has been such a great experience. I can't wait to do more episodes, and we're setting up a little studio
eventually.
Well, this is like a studio, but we're setting up where we actually get to sit next to each other in chairs for when she's home, so that we can have a different environment for recording. So it's more real, like it is a conversation, but so we're not sitting on top of each other, which we're doing right now. So that's it. This is episode 100, and thank you for joining me on this journey, and thank you for joining us on this journey.
My podcast quote, Jesus. Oh. My calendar quote is really great today. You can't do new without risk, period. Goes to literally everything we talked about today. Going to 100 episodes, that's only 5% of podcasts doing that. You know, like that is a risk right there. You can't do new without risk.
Yeah, and that it really does apply to everything. I mean, you have to be willing to take a risk to move forward, even if we're talking about your relationship with your child. Like the idea of it's scary, right? It's all scary. If you're having issues, the idea of being able to have a real conversation with them can be scary. But let me tell you, the reward is always greater than the risk.
That was good.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Okay. I'm slow right now because I'm looking something up.
Okay. Well, I can fill the time.
Tell us.
I still think grandma is the realest adult that I've ever met because she just knows things like how to get certain stains out of the laundry. Like, when do you learn that?
Well, part of the problem is she didn't teach me.
Yeah.
She just did it for me. So
she's a big doer, not a teacher.
Is that if you want your kids, what's the saying that if you want to feed somebody, you
teach a man. Oh, is it give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for his whole life.
Yeah. And so same kind of thing. Like, so I try to do that. Like even the other day I already got a check from somebody and he's never deposited a check before because we don't do checks usually. So I was just like, here, let me show you how to do it. And then Noah got a check and he knew how to do it because I had showed him before. And he just asked me to check to make sure if he did it correctly. But same kind of thing. Like if we show them these skills, they get their independence and they come back. Like it's not just like they're independent and they're gone. We
come back. My brother's about to turn 30. He's not, but I'm aging him.
He's turning 29.
That's pretty much 30. And he still comes back for questions.
Which is good. I mean, again, like that's what we're here for as parents. Like it's not like we get 18 years and we're goodbye.
I saw a TikTok about that was like me calling my mom when I have an issue because I'm an adult, but she's a realer adult.
Yeah. Again, I've been adulting for a lot longer. So if I can help, I want to help. So confidence tip of the day. Stop asking yourself if you're good enough. Start asking yourself what you need next. Confidence doesn't come from proving yourself over and over. It comes from supporting yourself like someone you believe in. 100%.
But that's so good.
Yeah.
I like that last line.
Yeah. It comes from supporting yourself like someone you believe in. Treat yourself like you would your best friend.
God, that's another good bar.
Yeah.
I need to do that more.
I got 3 bars today. 3 bars. So thank you for joining us on this 100th episode of Her Unshakable Confidence. We're so happy you're here. We can't wait to see you more, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Her Unshakable Confidence with Simone and Olivia Knego. We hope this episode has made your day just a little bit brighter and given you the inspiration you need to confidently go about your week. Always remember to be authentically you. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And feel free to connect with them on Instagram at Simone Knego and at Olivia Knego. Till next time.